All right, dude. So I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Is it worth $60? We're gonna talk about it. So I've been playing Animal Crossing since the GameCube days, and I've basically loved every single one more and more as time has gone on. It just feels like a series that has been slowly and gradually evolving to the point where it is now. To be honest, let's just cut to the chase. It's an amazing game. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the Animal Crossing that you've been waiting for. If you haven't been playing Animal Crossing, dude, it's basically a life sim. Have some villagers, have some fun, create your house the way you want it to be. And it's just a great, jolly old time. Now, to start off, the story of Animal Crossing has never been a strong suit. It's not a story-driven game. It's kind of a game where you create your own story. And people like that. I like that. So the way you're starting off in this game is you're basically a human who's buying a pass to a deserted island getaway from this shady little raccoon named Tom Nook. And you fly over. Nook gives you a little tent. And he has you do a little chores for him as you go around the island. And you just start picking stuff up. You just start selling stuff. You just start making your tent look a little nicer. You just start putting some flowers out. And that's pretty much the story. Nook has basically taken over everything. And if you know anything about Tom Nook, he is either the savior that you're looking for, or he is the greediest little raccoon you've ever met. And I think he's a mix of both. I think that he is a greedy raccoon who also saves your butt. Nook has taken over everything in this game. He has the bank, he has the shop, gives you a Nook phone. He has his own operating system, which I think is kind of funny. He gives you tickets to fly. We're going to talk about that later. But Nook has taken over everything. The story for Animal Crossing has always been bare bones. But this one, I kind of like that it's a reason why you're moving. Oh, you want to relax. You want to go to an island getaway. It's cool. So it's a 60. You know, it's a serviceable story. As far as the gameplay, that's where Animal Crossing really shines. Okay, so Animal Crossing is a series that has been evolving since the GameCube. And there's so many things that they add every single game that you just don't know that you needed. Okay, so to start, crafting is everything. Crafting gives you so much to do in this game. Now, what is the crafting? Basically, you break stuff down, you chop down some trees, break some rocks, even pick up weeds, and you create stuff with them. Here's the thing about crafting that I think people don't really get, is that this is what makes Animal Crossing more of a game. So previously, there was no crafting, and there realistically was only a limited amount of things you could do during the day. Okay, you do a certain amount of things during the day, the shop closes, and that's it. Okay, you're done playing Animal Crossing for the night. If you work at an overnight job, you really couldn't play Animal Crossing because it's all real time. You have to change your time, it's all weird, it's all whack. But even still, even if you worked prime time hours and you were able to play Animal Crossing the right way, there is going to be a time when you run out of things to do during the day, but not with crafting, okay? Crafting changes everything, and not just crafting, but it's the DIY recipes, okay? So you have these little DIY recipes, you can create stuff basically out of anything. Previously, there was not a use for everything in the game. So things like weeds and shells, you can't do anything with those, okay? You just pick them up, you sell them, or you just pick them up and you throw them away. Now, you can craft things with weeds, you can craft things with shells. And it's amazing. I cannot imagine this game without crafting, okay? Number 2, biggest thing, terraforming. Terraforming is a must. Terraforming basically means you can expand your island in terms of building things up like cliffs, getting rid of cliffs. You can create waterfalls. You can create rivers, lakes. You can create little paths and roads in your town or island or whatever you want to call it. It's a must. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm not going to spoil how you get it, but it's amazing, okay? The thing about this game is it's like every little thing that you do, you create and find new little things. So half of this game is a mystery. Like, you don't actually know what you can do until you just go, okay? You don't know what you can do with weeds, but you know that there is going to be something you can do with weeds. So you hold on to it, okay? One of the big surprises in this game which wasn't really a surprise if you were looking at all the trailers for the game, was the ladder and the vaulting pole. And what I mean by a surprise is I cannot believe I didn't have them before. The vaulting pole, especially, is just such a must. I cannot imagine going back. I don't even know what we used to do before in New Leaf or in City Folk. I don't even remember what we would do to cross rivers. All I know is I needed the vaulting pole, which lets you cross rivers instantly with a press of a button. Ladders, it gives a whole new depth to your town, where before you were really just kind of limited on how wide is your town, and all of the cliffs that you see on the side in previous games, you can never do anything with them. Now every inch of this game, you can choose what you want to do, and not only that, but you can go and actually walk up there and do what you want. So the ladder and the vaulting pole are a must. Okay, now I would say that the biggest and probably best inclusion of this game, even more than crafting, even more than terraforming, even more than the ladder and the vaulting pole, even more than the DIY recipes, is the Nook Miles. Okay, Nook Miles, what is it? Basically, Tom Nook, he gives you a Nook phone, and he has these little tasks that you can do. Catch a bug, chop down a tree, crush a rock, kill one of your villagers. Just kidding, he doesn't have you do that. But Nook Miles are these little challenges that keep you playing throughout the day. Okay, so what you do, you log onto your little Nook phone, it says, oh, catch a bug. And you catch a bug. And what does it do? It gives you 200 Nook points. And you're like, okay, that sounds cool, but what do I do with the Nook points? You buy stuff with the Nook points, okay? You go into the little Nook bank, you go in, you see what you can buy, and you can buy furniture, you can buy paths, you can buy fences, you can buy pretty much anything that you can buy with regular bells, which is money. But the one thing that you can buy that is exclusive to Nook Miles is the Nook Passes, or whatever they're called. The Nook Island Flying Pass. I can't even remember what they're called because I just spend them. Once I buy them, I use them. That's it. What those do is it allows you to fly to other islands, little uninhabited islands, and basically wreak havoc. You take everything from the island. You take their fruit, you take their bugs, and not only that, but some islands are themed differently. So you have like Money Island, where like everything you touch has money that drops from it. You have Tarantula Island, where a bunch of tarantulas spawn and you can sell those for big money. You have Foreign Fruit Island, where you go and you get a foreign fruit that's not native to your town. It's amazing, okay? So that's what you're working for, is you're working to fly to other islands, buy or grab a bunch of their stuff, and sell it, okay? Nook Miles are the thing I've been waiting for. And why are they honestly so great? Down to a fundamental level, I feel like one of the things that I've always had a problem with Animal Crossing is I've always needed more game to it, okay? So in previous Animal Crossings, I always get to about 30, 35 hours, and then I kind of just drop off because at a certain point, it is just a life sim where you're just, oh, okay, I'm making my house the way I want it to look, but for what? You know, there's not like an actual purpose to it. But with this, no, there is a purpose. I can come in, oh, I'm catching a bug for what? For 200 Nook points. For what? Oh, to buy more stuff. Oh, for what? Because it's going to make everything look amazing. I know. It changes everything. Now, Nook phone, that being said, the Nook phone is essential too. I can't imagine, like, I don't even know what we used to do before the Nook phone. The Nook phone is your picture taker. The Nook phone is your map. The Nook phone is your little Nook Miles achievement tracker. It's beautiful. I love it. It keeps track of all your little DIY recipes. It's amazing. Now, one of the other great gameplay changes in Animal Crossing New Horizons is you have full control of your villagers' appearance, okay? So they've been slowly going towards this. I would, realistically, since probably the DS, I can't remember what that's called, Wild World, I think, where you can have like your little me mask, but back in the day, you used to have to answer questions, and that's how your villager was gonna look. It's crazy, crazy. So you'd have to sit there and look it up on YouTube or look it up on a forum, how to make my villager look like me. And they never had good skin tones, and it was just weird. Okay, so now you just, from the start, you get to customize your villager, and that's actually really important. That's a really big step. I know it sounds dumb and like it should have been a step before, which, yeah, it definitely should have, but I love it, and I'm not gonna complain. The other thing is you have full control over your home, and not just in the sense that, oh, I get to pick where it goes, which, yeah, you do get to pick basically wherever it goes. You can even put it on the beach, which is really awesome. But you also get full control over the inside and outside. Okay, so what do I mean by that? The inside, what's amazing is you can go into this homemaker mode. So basically from Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer on the 3DS, you can go into this little home mode where you don't have to sit there and manually push all of your furniture. It's literally like just these little quality of life changes that make this game so amazing. And you just can't go back. Like, I could never go back to New Leaf. Even just the game that came out on 3DS, I could never go back to it because I cannot go back to manually pushing around my furniture all the time. I love it. The other thing is built-in storage in your home. I love it. It should have just been there from the start. All of these things I just feel like should have been there from the start, but maybe we didn't think about them enough. And the developers just now thought, oh yeah, we should add in built-in storage. We should add a homemaker mode. I know, it's crazy. The other thing is outdoor furniture. Okay, this changes literally everything about the game, because before, all you're really caring about is, okay, I'm gonna put a bridge down. This is all New Leaf, right? I'm gonna put a bridge down. I'm gonna put a little well down. Okay, that's cool. I'm the mayor, and I'm gonna fix my house. That's really it. But you don't get to really choose what your entire town looks like. And that stops today. That stops with this game. What's amazing about outdoor furniture is you didn't even realize how much you can customize your town with outdoor furniture. You customize not only your house, not only your villagers' houses, but the entire town, okay? If you want a well, you put a well. If you want beach chairs, you put beach chairs. If you want a flying robot, you put a flying robot. That's in the game, spoiler. But it's essential. I could never go back to not having outdoor furniture. And just even the things that people have done in this game, I'm like, I'm not that creative. I'm just blown away at the creativity that people have really been putting forth of this game. And it just makes me want to strive and try to be better. Now speaking of striving to be better, I think that this game is very unique in that it is a single player game, right? You can play multiplayer, but this is primarily single player. But I think that because of all of the customization and how the game is set up, it really has become a multiplayer game. And what do I mean by that? Okay, it has internet, which works well. It can go online. You can go to somebody else's town and visit. And that's fine, okay? There should be voice chat, but that's not even Animal Crossing's fault. That's just Nintendo's fault. Shame on them. But what is bigger than just internet? What's bigger than just the internet is, okay, you have a friend, and you guys both start on the same day. And maybe they didn't get as far as you did. And you're like, hey, dude, did you get the ladder yet? And you're like, no, I didn't get the ladder. What the heck? Did you get the vaulting pole? No, I don't have the vaulting pole. What do you mean? Oh, dude, I have this fruit. Oh, I have this fruit. Oh. And you're just constantly competing to see who can get farther. And it just becomes this awesome, like, game where you're constantly checking back and forth to make sure that you have higher playtime or you are farther than your friend. And if you're not cheating, then it's all good and it's just a good competition. But if you're cheating, I guess it kind of ruins everything. Whatever, time traveling. But that being said, I think it's a great multiplayer game in the sense that it makes you strive to do better. Then when you go online and you actually go to somebody's town and you look and you're like, oh shoot, my town is terrible. I've been focusing all on my home. That was me. I was focusing all on my home. I go to other people's town and their town is amazing, but their home sucks. So then they come to my town, my home looks great, but my town looks terrible. So I think it really makes you check and look at yourself and go, dang, I have a lot more work to do. I'm not done. So I just love that aspect of the game. Another not big change, but another change for the game is the museum. The museum actually looks good for once, where before it's like, oh, look at the museum. It's cool. It's, got fish and it's got bugs. No, this one is like, even just bare, I'm like, wow, I actually like to take a stroll through my museum right now. It's really cool. Now, here's the thing about me in the museum. I just wish that there was more of a reason to put stuff in it instead of sell. So I begrudgingly do not put anything into my museum. I know it's really bad, and that's just I'm going to talk about that a little later. But that's the museum. It looks really good. As far as the villagers in your town, the little animals that you pick, you can pick them to an extent. Like you can go to the Nook Mile Islands, and if somebody's there, you can ask them to join your town, which is nice. But what's really awesome is that you can actually fully pick where you want their home to be, which I think this is the first time that I can ever recall fully picking where a villager's home goes. And they're not going to destroy my tree. They're not going to destroy my well. They're not going to destroy anything. They're going to go where I want them to go. And I love having that control. So, things that could be better in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number one, first and foremost, there should be cloud saves. Okay? What are cloud saves? They are saves that can transfer from console to console. So if your town gets corrupted or your system gets corrupted, it's saved, it's backed up. Now, I take good care of my stuff, so I don't care about my town getting corrupted. I more care about wanting to play my Animal Crossing town on my Switch Lite. So what sucks is once you start the game, you're locked on one system. And I just think that that's stupid, because I guess Nintendo's answer to that is, oh, we don't want people to cheat, but people are already time traveling and cheating. So what's the difference? So that's very frustrating. I had to lock it onto my big Switch, which I would just love to be able to take my Switch Lite with me and play this game. It just sucks. It's just really irritating. Oh well, that is the way it is. The other thing that kind of just is weird that is not in the game is a toolbox. So in this game, you have what's called like a tool ring, which is awesome, where you go, I don't remember what button it is, but you press a button, I think it's Y, and you can cycle through all of your tools, and it's like a quick command option. That's awesome. That's not a bad thing, but the bad thing is, why don't they have a toolbox for your inventory? So even though you have the tool ring, they still take up spots in your inventory, and it's just annoying, right? Like, wouldn't it be better if they had a toolbox where you put all of your tools, and you put all the tools in there, and it's just one inventory spot? I just think that would be better. Okay, just change it, Nintendo. Change it right now. The other thing I think that could be better is you still just don't have complete control over removing villagers. And I just don't understand why that's the case. You can pick who wants to come, but you can't force them to leave easily. And I kind of want to just ghost my villagers and not tell them that they're going to leave. I just want to like complain to Isabel and be like, oh, get rid of this villager for me, without me talking to them. And instead, I basically have to be a jerk and make them want to leave. And it's just dumb. Like, why can't you make them leave whenever you want? I don't know. That would be a nice little update. The other thing, which is just for me, I'm personally a fan of the running that they added to the game when you hold down B and you can run, but I just think they should take it a step further and add roller skates. That way you can really just zoom past and zoom by. I think that's just a must. One thing that I've just been kind of wishing about too is the island, not only size, but the scope. Okay, so you have the island, you can pick your layout, which is amazing, and you can do the terraforming, so you can make it taller and you can add water and all this stuff, but you can't really change the size of your island in terms of like total length, you know, or total area. And I just don't like it. I wish that you could expand your island. I wish that you could move your beaches further and make a really sprawling and big island. But I understand. I mean, it's kind of cool that it's like an actual deserted island instead of like this big metropolitan city, and that's what they're going for, which is nice. But I would just like it. The other thing that goes along with that is I really wish that you could swim in the water. I don't know what it is about this game specifically. I just want to go swimming in the water. I think it's because they have that mini game thing on New Leaf where you could swim with your friends when you went to that place with the captain or whatever it is. So I just want to swim in the water. Give me a little boat, or give me better yet, give me a DIY for a canoe, and I can take people with me in the canoe, either villagers or people online. That would be amazing. Okay. The next thing that I think they should add in this game, and keep in mind, these are just wish list things. These are not things that are deteriorating the game or making it feel like the game isn't worth 60. But these are just things that I would like to see in Animal Crossing, whether it's DLC, whether it's a free update, whether it's in the next game, just, you know, just little things. So the next thing is, I would really like there to just be designated little tiny, it doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have a lot of thought and put into it, but just little tiny mini games for when people come to your town. Something that you can actually do other than just look at your town. Now, I mentioned earlier that it gets competitive because people are coming to the town and they're peeping on what you're doing and you're peeping on what they're doing and you're trying to improve, and that's great. But what I would like is just go that one extra step and make it more gamey by adding little mini games. I don't know what they are. That's not why you're paying me, okay? I'm not getting paid to make the mini games, but just make some mini games and I'll be happy. The other really weird thing is that you can move everything in the game but the town plaza. You can move the museum, you can move villagers' homes, your home, you can move the shop, you can move the Able Sisters, everything, but you can't move the town plaza. And I just feel like, why? You know, like, give me, okay, I understand it's a big town plaza, so, you know, it has to fit somewhere, but give me the option to move it, because it's just kind of stuck in the middle, and I would love to put it off to the side, or next to my home, or I don't know, wherever I want it. I just want to have the option to move it. So those are basically, one big thing. One thing I do wish is, with the Nook Miles, I was mentioning that it kind of feels like an achievement system. Because not only do you have like the daily miles where you, chop down a tree and you get these points, but you also have like, catch 30 fish, and then you get a bunch of miles. And that's cool because it's like their own little stamped achievement. But what I do wish is like a way to brag about the fact that you have the stamp. Okay, you get the little titles in your little passport thing, which is cool, but I want like an exclusive piece of furniture or an exclusive hairdo or an exclusive outfit that I can like go flaunt at my friend's island. You know, oh dude, you got that hella hard achievement? Yeah, I did. I got the hella hard Nook Mile achievement. It's awesome. I know, just little things to make it more gamey, just for me. So obviously gameplay is going to be a 60. It's a $60 game worth of gameplay. On to graphics. Full disclosure. When Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U, obviously I loved Mario Kart 8. But then Mario Kart 8 came out with the Animal Crossing DLC track. Okay? And if you don't know what that is, basically it was you get to race around a town in an Animal Crossing game in HD for the first time. I was blown away. All my siblings were blown away, especially my sister. And we just sat there and we would just drive in slow motion and just look at the detail and the graphics of the town. And we were like, can you imagine what a Wii U game is going to look like? Can you imagine what a Wii U Animal Crossing is going to look like? Look at these graphics. This is going to be incredible. So when this game was announced, finally, I was very set on having that style of graphic. And if you haven't seen it, you should probably look it up. It's just amazing, okay? We obviously didn't get a style like that, which is fine. So that's just my expectations not being met as to, because it wasn't promised that that's how the game's going to look. It was just amazing. And I just wished it looked like that at first. So I was a little disappointed. One thing I was disappointed with at first was that the camera angle isn't movable in the sense that you can lower it, and I just thought that that would be a really cool change for Animal Crossing going into HD. But I think that maybe next time around they'll do that. Whatever. Onto the graphics that the game actually has. This game has amazing stylized graphics, and I think that they will really age well. Why do I think that? I think because they didn't try to go the uber realistic route, and I think that they really focused on the little things. Like, for instance, the trees are always blowing, or the wind is always blowing, I should say, and the trees and the leaves are moving, and it's awesome. It just feels like a lived-in world. You turn around, and you hear the insects chirping. And then when you turn back around, it's like, I don't know if it's like a surround sound thing, but you hear the insect in the other direction where you were turned. I just love stuff like that. And it helps you really feel immersed. I love the outfits in the game. I love the hairstyles. I love the way the water looks. I love the way the ocean sounds. I love the way the villagers sound. I love everything about the graphics. It's just amazing. And even though I had my hopes and dreams set on a Mario Kart 8 style of graphic, I think that these graphics for this specific game are timeless. And I think that they will stand the test of time. And I think that, of course, we're not going to want to play this game once the next Animal Crossing comes out, because that's just how Animal Crossing is. But I think that looking back, we're not going to be disappointed. So the game's graphics are $60 worth. Not sure if they're 60 frames a second. Don't really care. It never stutters. It's great. Okay, $60 game graphics. As far as music and sound, I think that this game has finally perfected the way that Animal Crossing makes you feel. This game has finally exemplified with the music. So what do I mean by that? First off, live band for most, if not all tracks, I want to say. And I think that just adds to the lived-in feeling of it. And what do I mean by that? When you have a track that's all computerized and it's all digital, it's very clean sounding, but it also sounds computerized and it doesn't sound human. But because most of these tracks, I think, have a live band, it makes it feel more human. It makes it feel more relaxed. So you can have the nuance in the songs. And I just love that. I love the music in this game. Just amazing. Amazing music. Catchy, classic, instant classic. You're going to be humming it. You're going to be looking forward to it when the track changes. But the negative to that is, I just wish that the tracks changed more often, because I want to hear different tracks. I want to hear it. But that's not a fault of the game. It's just, different times, different tracks, and it's amazing. KK Slider's in this game, and that's all I'm going to say about that. He's the best character of Animal Crossing. As far as the insects and the trees and all of the other sound and the way the villagers talk, it's just top notch. It's a $60 game in terms of music and sound. So that's all I can really say about that. As far as the replay value of the game, this is one of those games that has infinite possibilities. You can start the game over, which I don't know why you would ever do that. This is more of a game that you play for 8 years and then you move on to the next Animal Crossing game. But what you could do is you could restart as a new villager on the same island. So, meaning, let's say that I'm me, and then I want to start as a new person. I don't know why you would do that, but I guess you could redo it and just start your tent over from ground zero. And you're this whole new person. You could even change your gender, I guess, if you want, and change the way you look and act completely differently, have a different relationship with all of your islanders or whatever it is, and you can start from scratch. So I think that in that sense, the replay ability is even better because you don't even have to restart your town to restart. And I think that that's what pulls you back in. I think that the moral of the story is this game just pulls you back in, even if it's just for 5 seconds. I want to do a little Nook Mile challenge. Oh, I want to chop down this tree. Oh, I just want to pick up my mail because I ordered something online and it's coming in today. Oh, I just want to get my money rock. Oh, I just want to find the money tree for this day. It just these little things. And I think that what they really did right for this game is I think that they took advantage of the Switch being a portable system and a dockable system where you can really sit there and take your time and do all these things if you want to put it on the TV or even, on the go. And you want to do and go in depth, you can do that. Or you're like, hey, I have 5 minutes before work. I have to shower. And this is me, of course. This is a real story. I have 5 minutes before I have to get in the shower. Let me just check my mail, plant my money tree, and then I'm out. And that's what you do. You get a few Nook Miles, you plant your money tree, you order some stuff for tomorrow, you get your stuff, and that's it. And then maybe you have a day off from work, and you come home, you plop it in the dock, and you start reorganizing your house with all the mail that you just got. The replayability is a 60. It's just a 60. So everything, obviously, you add them up, you divide them. It's a $60 game, of course. It is worth every penny. Do not wait for a sale. It's not worth a sale. You should be spending your full $60 on this game, okay? That's it, dude. I will talk to you about the next game later.